Day one of the championships at Randwick's in the books. Day two coming up this Saturday. I'm Tom Natton. This is, of course, Glenn Munsey. Glenn, it's raining again.
Well, yes, it's like the sun coming up in the morning, but you'd actually like to see the sun come up in the morning. The Weather Bureau has predicted that the rain will return, and it has returned. Here we are of a Wednesday morning, but the majority of rain is happening tomorrow, into tomorrow evening. Actually, I spoke to Mike Wood yesterday at Randwick, and he wasn't overly concerned. The doomsdayers are saying up to 100 mils. He's saying no, they won't get that much. But we've now seen Randwick on 2, if not 3 occasions, race very well after copping an enormous amount of rain. And I think we've just got to give this track the kudos that it deserves. I don't think it cost any horse their chance last Saturday, day one of the championships. I can't really see it being detrimental to anything come day two. You know the horses that handle the wet anyway. You can play the horses that you don't think will handle the wet, and we'll just have to see. The best horse will still probably win.
That brings us to the feature race, the $4 million Queen Elizabeth over 2,000 metres. I think it's the race of the autumn. A lot of people, I'm sure, agree. Headlined by Verry Elleegant at $3 with the TAB. Can the champ bounce back?
Oh, what an absolutely unbelievable race this is. There's only 9 runners. You could say there's, 5 genuine chances in the race. I'm going to play against the 2 favourites in Verry Elleegant and Zaaki. Zaaki, I don't think... Well, this will be the worst track he's ever seen in his life on a Saturday. And Verry Elleegant, I thought Modophilia beat her and had a cold at Rose Hill. She's been beaten in this race the last 2 years, albeit by a Dabe, who's one of the best stayers in the world. But, I think looking at $3, that's poison odds, $3. I'm going to play the other 2 mares in the race. Duais, coming out of the Tancred Stakes, was run at Newcastle. She's got to be the first horse since Eremine to win the double. The Tancred back to the 2,000 metres of the Queen Elizabeth. And Modophilia. Why is Modophilia $9? Where Verry Elleegant had every possible chance in the world the other day. I know she was around about the $1.20, $1.30 mark or whatever. But, Modophilia is $9 again. She's won 4 Group 1 races. Verry Elleegant's won 11. But Modophilia's won 4 Group 1 races, and I do think 2,000 metres is an absolute sweet spot. And at the moment, they're $5 and $9. I'm happy to play those at the odds rather than backing Verry Elleegant and Zaaki. And Anamoe, he's had a little bit of a hiccup. He had a raised temperature last week. He worked yesterday morning. Interesting to see Godolphin take a lot of the press out to Agnes Banks to have a look at Anamoe and also Colette work. They didn't do any sort of strenuous sort of work, but I think that's to allay a few fears when they put the note out during the week that he had a little bit of a hiccup. Now, he's got to become the first 3-year-old to win the Queen Elizabeth Stakes since Intergaze back in 1997. That's a long while ago, and he was dominant in the Rose Hill Guineas. Time wasn't fantastic. Converge, finished down the course in the Doncaster the other day. And once again, I'm happy to play against him at the odds. So I'm playing against the 3 favourites and backing the next 2 on the market.
And the double figures, we've got I'm Thunderstruck, Think It Over, Dallasan and Mount Popper. Do you think any hopes there?
Well, Think It Over. Who would think It Over would go around 50 to 1 in any weight for age racing contest? But he just despises wet tracks, the poor thing. He's one of the most consistent weight for age gallopers we've got. But as the track gets wetter, his chances diminish to basically 0. I'm Thunderstruck, ran a very, very good race in the Doncaster last Saturday. He's got to stretch out to 2,000 metres for the first time. That's always a question mark. Dallasan, well, he's 100 to 1 chance. He was only beaten about a length and a half in this race last year off a very, very good run in the Doncaster. He ran very, very well in the Doncaster again, as he has each and every time he's run at Randwick. But he's another one. Chad Schofield said he was never, ever happy in the going the other day, and he's got to get to 2,000 metres. He was albeit not beaten far in the race last year, but he never really looked a winning chance.
And just on the pattern, there doesn't appear a heap of speed in the race. If it is super slowly run, are you happy with your money still on Duais and Modophilia?
Oh yeah, well Modophilia, she doesn't have to get a long way back. And Zaaki looks the leader here. Think It Over will probably go forward with it. I'm Thunderstruck won't be far away, neither will Dallasan. I don't think they'll crawl, put it that way. And Duais, I'm very happy with her drawing the outside alley because she was going to be back near last anyway. So Josh can just flop her out of the gates and work out where the best part of the ground is. We saw last Saturday, especially earlier in the day, the best ground was sort of down towards the inside. They started to get wider the last couple of races, like in the Derby. Haitotsu and also Benno were the 2 widest horses in the turn and the 2 widest horses in the straight. But mainly during the day, they were cutting the corner and probably getting sort of 6 to 8 off the fence. But this is race 8 on Saturday, so it'll be race 18 that we've had on consecutive Saturdays. So I think they'll be getting wider anyway.
And that brings us to the Sydney Cup. This is the kind of race where people like you make their money, because for me it's a dartboard job. Can you point us in the right direction?
I think it's a dartboard job anyway. 3,200 metres. Well, your favourite Stockman. And two main reasons Stockman's favourite. One, he's an exceptionally good wet tracker. And two, well, he ran a very, very good race behind Duais in the Tancred Stakes at Wade for Age at his last start and drops to 51 kilos here. But he has to get to 3,200 metres. And just because you run on at the end of 24, 26, it's a big, big step to get 3,200 metres. Like, he's the favourite at the moment. You've got other horses like Crystal Pegasus is in the market. Luncey's, who ran a much, much better race the other day. The Queen's horse, Chalk's Dream. Well, wouldn't that be great for racing in Australia if Her Majesty the Queen could have the winner of the Sydney Cup? I'm going to plump for the top one in the Chosen One. He's been placed in a Sydney Cup before on a heavy 8. I don't know whether the track will be, I think it might be a little bit worse than that. And he's got to spot every runner in the race weight. But he's a 3,200 metre winner. He's run competitively in Melbourne Cups. He's run competitively in Sydney Cups. And he's entitled to be giving the field that sort of weight. And he's an $11 chance. I'm happy enough to have something on him. And another imported galloper there, Surefire. He's only had the couple of runs in Australia. And I think both of his runs have been very, very competitive. And I can't see any reason why he won't get 3,200 metres.
So in the Sydney Cup, you're with...
The Chosen One and also Surefire.
And then finally, your best of the rest. It's a massive card at Randwick. Who else do you like?
Well, I think she actually stays in the backyard here, Ice Bath. Amazingly, at this time of year, I tend to tip her every year. Tipped her last year in the Doncaster, she ran second. I was on her this year in the Doncaster, she ran third. She's back to her own sex on Saturday. The wet track, her fifth run in, everything points to her being very, very competitive there. A $6 chance. Now, for those people that don't really know a lot about racing, there's a horse in this coming from Melbourne for Kieran Maher and David Eustace, and you look at its name and you'd think it was Yonce, right? But it's actually pronounced Yonce with a reference to Beyonce. Apparently she's a singer, I don't really know, but if you're looking at that horse there, that's how their pronunciation is, Yonce.
There you have it. Good luck on Saturday, folks. Glenn, thanks very much for your time.
Oh, guys, it's been great. Thank you very much for your time, and we just roll on to the next meeting after this week.